Hi, I'm Keith. This is my dad, Kerwin.
Welcome. This is Father Son Galaxy. This is a special that we're doing. It's recorded. We wanted to get back into doing more character studies.
So
So
this is our
this
first one
is
in a while, I
right.
think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the last Star Wars one we did was
It was a long
last
time ago.
year.
Yeah. It's fine.
Who was it?
It,
Like a Vader?
so we know that we do enjoy having these character studies,
Mhm.
talking about characters. So we are definitely bringing it back.
We're doing a
So
lot more for y'all.
yes. So Andor season 1 ended 2 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
November. Are we done talking about
Sadly,
Andor? No, we're not
no.
done
Andor's
talking.
never going away.
We are not done talking about Andor. So this episode we're going to talk about there was a Marvel Comics one shot that came out in 2017, a year after Rogue One, and it's a story about Cassian Andor and K2SO, right? It's just sort of a backstory about how these two characters met. And we were wondering if any of the information that is in this comic book issue going to impact what we're going to see in season 2 of Andor, right? So that's the reason why we want to talk about this. Okay, so we know that with season 1 we were on many new planets, right?
And
So
many pins and needles as well.
many pins and needles. Okay, so the
It's
planets.
so suspenseful every episode.
Yep, absolutely. As far as location, we have visited the planets of Ferrix, Aldani, Niamos, Narkina 5, right?
Many different planets.
Right. And I recall reading, I think it was Tony Gilroy, who gave us a preview of what we could expect for season 2. And he mentioned that there's going to be many more new planets to see. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
maybe
going to,
we'll get some new planets added to the canon. Maybe we'll revisit some old ones from Legends. Who knows?
we'll see. And one of the planets, well, we're going to talk about this planet. The planet is called Wekako, right? And we're going to explain to you why that it's not a very easy name
Get a better name,
pronounce.
I'd say.
I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but we're going to talk about this planet and why it's important for this story that we're going to talk about. All right. So once again, there was a Marvel Comics issue came out, Cassian Andor, Cassian and K2SO, what it's called. All right. So just a backstory if you have not read the comic book. So Cassian Andor, he's a rebel intelligence officer. So we know that he is absolutely 100% involved with the rebellion.
He's on it.
Right. So I get the impression that this story is taking place very close to Rogue One. Mm-hmm. Okay. And he is on a mission with these twins. Their name are Kertas and Rismor. They are very interesting. They seem half human, half sentient being, and they don't actually communicate with words. They communicate with thought. But
Weird.
It's interesting. So they're on this planet. The planet is called Wekakor. All right. It's a nowhere planet, is how Cassian describes it, as a nowhere planet, and they're looking for intelligence.
I mean, we didn't even know Wekako existed until like now. So
exactly, I think this planet is far off in the outer rim somewhere. So they're looking for Imperial intelligence. Okay, and then so the twins, all right, they're helping Andor to spy to find some information, and Cassian. So of course, anytime you're on this planet, unknown planet, you have no idea what to expect. So they find themselves involved in a location, an Imperial security base where the alarm goes off. All right. So of course they alert the stormtroopers, and they're caught by this K2 security. All right. In other words, K2SO.
mm-hmm.
Now remember,
our good friend.
Exactly. So remember, this is interesting because we saw a K2 unit or a K2
and we got
droid.
completely duped.
Exactly.
Here we are thinking, oh my gosh, K2SO, he's finally here. Nope.
Right. So remember when Andor visited Niamos, that Miami Beach planet, and he encountered this droid. These droids absolutely work for the Imperials. We know that, right?
Those do.
Right. And one thing I want to say about this mission that they're on this planet Wekako, Andor was assigned this mission by General Draven. Does that name sound familiar?
Yes.
Yes.
He was in Rogue One.
He was actually right. Exactly. He's a character in Rogue One. So quite possible we may see General Draven in season 2. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So the three of them encounter this K2 security, and of course they're caught. The droid approaches Cassian and picks him up just like the droid did in the Niamos episode, and he's shaking Cassian down, and he wants to know, who are you? One of the lines that K2SO says is, "What is your name and rank? I need to note it for your death record." so, so, so what the twins decide to do? So Kertas and Rismor, they actually power down the K2 unit. All right. So they shut it down. Right. They turn, and then what Cassian tries to do, now he has no idea how this droid works, the insides, the computer programming. He doesn't know, but what he wants to do is try to wipe this droid's memory. Okay. So he, gets in there, opens them up, and starts playing with a few wires. And then he turns K2SO back on, and the droid actually announces that you've only erased about 20-30% of my memory. So the other 70% is still there. So once again, the droid picks him up and he's shaking him down. They turn the droid off again. And then this time they kept it off for a little longer to see maybe if more of his memory would get erased, right? So then when they turn it back on, now the memory is down to 8.3%.
Well, that's
pretty
all that's
cool.
left.
Yeah, that's all that's left. Right. So what Cassian tries
It's
to
actually
do.
great though, because he still remembers the Empire and how they work. He just doesn't remember that he works for them.
Exactly right. So Cassian starts questioning K2SO and says, "Well, who are you?" Well, he knows, who do you work for? The droid doesn't know. He says, "Okay, well, from now on, you're going to actually listen to my commands. All right. So what I'm going to need you to do is to get us off this planet. All right. We need to leave." Okay. So they actually leave the facility, because, K2SO is making it look like they're prisoners, right? So they're
Smart.
leaving.
He's done that before.
Exactly. So they're leaving the facility. So K2 is leading them, and they get outside to where there's a bunch of stormtroopers out. And the stormtrooper says to them, "Well, where are you going?" And then K2SO, I mean, he's a droid, he doesn't know anybody. He says, "Well, I'm taking these rebel spies to my ship." And the stormtrooper said, "Rebel spies? What do you mean? Hey, they should be in handcuffs. They should be arrested. What's going on?" And then a fight breaks out. K2SO starts picking up these stormtroopers and throwing them around and blast of fire. Yeah.
Bow, bow.
And all they're trying to do is get back to their ship. Which unfortunately they don't make it back to the ship because
it gets destroyed.
Someone from the Empire, maybe one of the stormtroopers, had a detonator, and
kaboom.
Yep, the ship is gone. Now they need to find another ship. Okay, so now that Cassian has is able to command K2SO, so he asks the droid, "Where can we find another ship?" All right. So K2SO says, "Well, right this way." Now, before they left for the other ship, one of the twins, Kertas, informs Cassian that if you take this droid back to the base, you'll have all of the Imperial intelligence you need because everything is inside this droid. And Cassian says, "Okay, all right, well, great." So the twins actually don't follow Cassian and K2SO to the ship. They actually stay behind. They didn't really explain why they decided to stay behind.
I bet you they just got captured or something.
Yeah, it just seems like maybe they had their own mission. Like well,
it's like they've done all they needed to do.
Right. They managed to bring Cassian to the planet, and then maybe they just went off to do their own thing.
Yeah, but I don't know why they stayed exactly where the Imperials are, just to just walk by.
Yeah, I guess they felt that they could blend in.
Hi, stormtroopers. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Mom, it's been so long.
Yeah.
Like just walking down the halls, like no one's going to shoot them.
Yeah. Well, they can disguise themselves as somebody else. I mean, no one's going to really know that they're rebel spies. So they're still undercover. They can do whatever they want. Apparently, they're gone. I don't think that we've ever heard of these characters ever again. Like I said, this is only a one shot. Yeah, so. Right. So K2 and Cassian find a ship and they get on board. And what Cassian does is erase the rest of any memory that K2SO has of the Empire.
What? What? Why though?
Well, I guess why? Well, I'm guessing that he just wants to, um, I don't know, when we say erase, well, I guess he wants to make sure that his commands are not being followed, are not given by anyone except for Cassian. So I think that's the reason why he wanted to just, start
I
fresh.
thought everything they needed to know
Yeah.
was in his memory.
Well, I don't think that's a very good point. I'm certain that he might have downloaded what the intelligence that K2SO has. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, again, the comic book doesn't really make it clear, but he's erasing the commands.
Oh,
maybe, yes, right. So
makes
the
more sense.
training, the commands that were given to him by the Empire, whatever it is, whatever words that the Empire uses that triggers K2SO to act on behalf of the
like
Empire.
with Bucky, how there's that code.
Exactly
code
right.
words
With the
that
Winter
make
Soldier, like there's certain words that if the Winter Soldier hears these words, then he acts on it, right? So
berserk.
he goes, yes, he does. So maybe it's something similar like that with the Empire. So what Cass is doing is erasing all of that. But I'm certain that all the information, intelligence is still there. So in other words, if Cassian were to come to K2SO and say, hey, tell me what you know about the Empire, K2SO will have no problem telling because the command came from Cassian. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. All right. So they jump on the ship and they escape. They fly into hyperspace, and then that's how the story ended. They make the jump to light speed. So now the question is, do we know if any of this information or anything that was in this comic book is going to appear in season 2?
Maybe, because
We
if you
don't know.
remember the Tales of the Jedi episode that seemed really reminiscent of the Ahsoka book,
True.
maybe they'll take it and use it as inspiration.
They could. They absolutely could. If they don't take anything else from this story, they take two things. One, that we heard General Draven's name mentioned.
Yep.
So we hope to see Draven. All right. And then two, Wekakor, the planet. So Wekako. Even if they change the entire storyline as to how the two met, it'd be nice if they kept the planet name the same. Because imagine, if you know Wekako, what happens on that planet, and you're watching season 2 of Andor, and that name appears on the screen. You see that ship. You always see a ship heading towards an unknown planet, and then the name of the planet appears at the bottom of the screen. And if you see that it says Wekako, like you're gonna see these, cheers and fist bumps from Star Wars fans.
We're gonna see K2.
That's right. K2SO is right around the corner. So I thought it was a very interesting story. Like I said,
there's a K1SO or a K3SO.
I don't know.
Or a Rogue 2. That'd be hilarious.
Rogue 2.
That'd make absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that unfortunately there won't be a sequel to Rogue 1.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. But
we know.
So that's the story. So once again, we love Andor. I don't know if there's anything else that we can talk about Andor that we haven't already discussed, but we still got a long wait. All right. So season 2 doesn't drop until 2024. So probably estimate fall of 2024. So we have a long way to go.
This year we're busy. We got the Bad Batch. We got Mando. We got a lot of stuff coming up.
Absolutely. So we'll find we have a lot of things to fill in that time frame, that time gap. All right. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much. So that is this episode. That was our review or discussion of the one shot called Cassian and K2SO. Keith, where can people find us?
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Good Pods, Radio Public, Amazon Music, Audible, my personal favorite, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are our socials, all at Fatherson Galaxy. Our website is fathersongalaxy.com, so please visit that. And check out our merch store as well. We've got lots of stuff for the holidays. We have lots of merch that you can get. Mm-hmm. So the link for that is fathersongalaxy.myspreadshop.com.
Excellent.
And also our Spreaker page as well. Anything else?
That is it. So thank you very much once again, everyone, for tuning in and joining us or listening or watching. So until next time, take care. And we will see you again.